This Volkswagen Challenge action is proudly brought to you by PoziDrive and Dunlop Tyres. We head to Red Star Raceway for the final round of 2021's PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge. And what an exciting time to be at Red Star Raceway. 3 very hot contenders for the overall championship, and each of their respective categories, other than Class C, are up for grabs today as well. Big battle is expected at the front end between Davy van der Merwe and Rory Atkinson for Class A. Leighton Fourie will be looking to take overall as well as Class B. And of course Mussolini down in Class C will be the man to look out for Class C honours and for the overall title. Let's catch up now with one of the overall title contenders, Rory Atkinson.
The overall's close, but Class A is actually closer, so more important is to win Class A before worrying about the overall. So Davy had also had an excellent qualifying, so it's down to racing now, and I'm happy with the time, and let's see how this afternoon goes. We're going to give it 110.
Another man looking for the overall title and Class B is Leighton Fourie from Team Red Racing.
No, going into this weekend, we knew it was going to be tight through all the classes. I mean, Rory looked like he had a lot of speed yesterday, and so did Mussolini. So, yeah, I mean, we did the job the best we could and what we can control. So it was a stellar lap from me, and we did the job. Now we look on to race 1.
Class C and leading overall coming into the final round, Pierluigi Mussolini.
Tough qualifying, but we found the time. We got pole. It's going to be a challenging day. Weather's not that great. Track's quite tricky, but yeah, looking forward to it.
It's time for some final preparations now with a couple of teams, and Stian Kriel with a bit of issues as well to sort out. Hopefully he'll be back into the action and taking on the front end of Class B. He's this thorn in the side, possibly for Leighton Fourie and his attempt to take the Class B title and the overall championship all in one day. They basically have to have perfect days, the top 3 contenders. And the perfect days will ensure that they will take the overall and their class victories respectively. A little bit of final preparation there with Etienne van der Linde, just seeing exactly how they can maybe find a little bit of tweak, and maybe a little twist and turn there to get Leighton Fourie a bit more power. He's been exceptionally good. Yesterday in the rain was absolutely amazing. No one near him. In fact, not even the Class A contenders could stay with him. So let's see what's going to happen now with dry conditions here for race number 1 as they roll out on Red Star Raceway. Rory Atkinson going to do it all at the front end, taking on Davy van der Merwe alongside him into turn 1. You can see a bit of rain clouds in the background. They'll be watching that very, very carefully. Problems right at the start for the 21 car, and that is not good for Stian Kriel. He's out and parked on the sideline. And let's see what's going to happen now with Class A getting away. Remember, it's 3 separate starts. You'll see the red flag just in the background there for Class B. Great start from Davy van der Merwe. Lights up the car and gets those Dunlop tyres hooking up perfectly down towards turn 1. Can he get the whole shot over Rory Atkinson? He can. This is the man who could spoil Rory Atkinson's title attempts here for Class A and also for the overall. Great start from the 2 Masters boys. It's Bevan just ahead of Wayne, tucked in there behind Rory Atkinson as they go through the chicane for the first time. Behind that, Volkswagen is being squeezed out there by Derek Smallberger. Great start there, and Dell just in the background, waiting for Class B now. Let's see what's going to happen. You can see the front row there opened up on the second position of that front row. That should be Stian Kriel's, but it's now Leighton Fourie all on his own. Some great start from the rest of the pack as they head out towards turn 1. And Charisse van der Merwe already getting a little bit of argy-bargy from behind. Looks like Charisse might have just missed a gear, and Stuart Mack had nowhere to go. He's now going to have to fight hard with Ethan Coetzee on his inside as they go into the chicane for the first time. Great overtaking maneuver opportunities right from the word go, and that's the way you squeeze through. Coetzee taking the outside line from the inside and around the outside into the second part of the chicane, coming alongside Kasia Naidu coming out there, and a great start as well from Andy Gossman. On the sideline, that's the 60 car of Dioval Theron. He's got some problems that we pushed off the circuit completely as Class C head down towards turn 1. Class C battle expected there. Remember, it's all about Pierluigi Mussolini trying to stay out of harm's way, and that's exactly what he's attempting to do right now. Second place would be fine. He doesn't have to take all the victories today, but he certainly has to be at the front end as far as possible in Class C. Great start there from Walker. Great start from O'Karodia as well. Karodia leads things out. Walker's right on his tail. We saw Ian Walker having such a great outing at the previous round at Swartkops. Let's see if he can do more of the same here at Red Star Raceway as they head down the long straightaway down towards turn 4. Brilliant start here from them, and you can see the battle starting right off and heading up to third place as well. Good start from him in the police car as he starts to just pick his way through there ever so slightly, getting ahead of Ian Walker as they came out of the chicane. We're on board now with Rory Atkinson at the front end of Class A. He's second at the moment behind Davy van der Merwe. And van der Merwe just holding things off at the moment and fighting for the Class A honours. Van der Merwe's got to get 2 victories. He's also got to get the 2 fastest laps in the races to ensure that he takes Class A's title ahead of the BHIT car of Rory Atkinson. Masters and Masters fighting for third there, as you can see, as we go to the drone shot here, heading into turn 12 and up towards the final corner. completing the first lap in anger. It is Team Red Racing and Universal Motorsports Davy van der Merwe out in front of the BHIT bulk logistics car. We go on board with the Sabertech machine now. This is Derek Smallberger, 6th place at the moment, also out of Universal Motorsports stable, and catching the back end of Main Squeeze. Voldy Monkeys with a bit of pressure now from the Sabertech car, trying to close down on the two Masters boys as they go into chicane. Good start there from the two of them. And it's a bit of a change-up. You can see Wayne Masters has got ahead of Bevan now as they get onto the long straightaway and down that N12 highway. Absolutely amazing stuff. Flat out and down into turn 4 in these little polos. We're probably close to 200k an hour mark. And sideways from the BHIT car of Rory Atkinson. Brilliant stuff there as he caught it coming out of the off-camber left-hander. It drops away from you ever so slightly. Doesn't show too much on the cameras here, but it's definitely a slight downhill there into turn 4 and off-camber as well. They're heading up into the dog bone now, and once again it's Bevan Masters starting to close onto the back end and looking for a way through there on Wayne. The two Masters boys putting on a superb effort here for what is third place on track. And the two of them going to fight hard all the way to the line. They're losing a little bit of ground though because of the fight that they're having, and it's giving the opportunity for the top two to get away. Further back we go into the Class Bs now, and into Class B it's Stuart Mack who's under a bit of pressure as well. The 115 machine coming through there of Charisse van der Merwe. That is the hot 102.7 car, and she's putting the pressure onto Mack big time in the PoziDrive machine as they come out of the exit of the top end of the dog bone. Definitely a massive improvement from her after not such a great outing in PE, and of course that big crash in PE. She came a little bit back and got onto the podium at Swartkops, but now looking for another podium now, but at the moment sitting in 5th place. You can see up the road Caution Naidu and McGregor is 2nd and 3rd place. They are nowhere near Leighton Free. He's disappeared at the front end of the field for Universal Motorsport and leading things out in Class B, doing everything he needs to do to try and wrap up the Class B championship. That should be at the end of this race by the time he finishes the race in the front of Class B, but there's still the overall championship up for grabs. As they come flying through there, you can see the Grange workwear car of Mike McGregor doing such a good job at this stage. First time out for him in a long time in PoziDrive. And we've got problems for Philip Cruiser. He's spun out there in the ATE brakes car, and unfortunately he gets back on track right at the back of his class. That's Class C. And this is Stuart Mack looking at Alna. Alna Cruiser having a similar sort of issue. The Cruisers are not enjoying life here at Red Star Raceway. Two of them spinning out all on their own and they're getting it all wrong. Not where they want to be getting it wrong, that is for sure. Nice aerial material shot here of this turn, and you can see just how difficult it is to negotiate different lines from different cars. The guys are picking those different lines. There are ideal lines, of course, at Red Star Raceway, but they're not always easy to find, especially when you're in a big fight like we're seeing right here. Front end of Class C, and what a great battle it is. Pierluigi Mussolini has got ahead, and he's now left everybody in his wake in the FSS logistics car. He's got ahead now of Mo Carodia and of Reina van Heerden. Problems in the background, that's Mike McGregor. The Grange workwear car parked on the sideline on the exit of the final corner. That might be double yellows there, so no overtaking into that final corner, possibly for a couple of laps. McGregor just moving out of the way and trying to get out of harm's way as well. Mussolini doing it all right. Class C will be wrapped up here, that is for sure. And if he can do it all right in race number 2, overall championship as well. But it is so close for this overall championship, and you can see just how hard all of the contenders are fighting. You've got Leighton Free at the front end of Class B. You've got Pierluigi Mussolini at the front end of Class C. And it looks like Rory Atkinson has not had an answer to Davy van der Merwe at the front end of Class A. So he's the man who's having to fight just even harder than the other two contenders in this overall championship for the final part of 2021's PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge. This is Mussolini's point of view coming out of the dog bone. You can see the gap he's pulled now over Carodia. There's no answer from Carodia or from Walker or from Reina van Heerden. They just don't have the pace that Luigi has found here. And what an incredible bit of pace he's got in that FSS logistics car of his. This is 2nd and 3rd place, heading up towards the exit of the dog bone. And it looks like Carodia is going to have a bit of a fight on his hands all the way through. Walker's not going to give him any room to play, and certainly looking to try and pounce if he can. Further down the field there, picking up on the 79 car. Great to see Charles Anderson, first time out for him, fighting with Philip Cruiser and Dino Smit down in Class C. Certainly a man to watch out for, hopefully in 2022. Oh, and in the background a problem. Carodia makes a mistake. That is a huge mistake there, and that has allowed Ian Walker through into 2nd place. That is a big maneuver not to be done not to that point of the circuit. It's the entrance to the short straight, and he just ran ever so slightly wide. It's a very tight, almost 45-degree corner. Chris Dale coming in as well with some problems. That's a big pity to lose him out, and the PoziDrive car parked on the inside. And there, speaking of the inside, outside goes Gavin Ross. Gavin Ross coming out of the chicane, maybe just clipped the inside curb there and possibly just put it into a spin, and the Norbrake car gets back on track, but he loses 4 positions in the attempt to get back on track. Great driving here from Roberto Cassani, first time out for him as well, so watch out for some new contenders coming into 2022, fighting with the JRT boys. That's Ethan and Mitch Kutsia. We just saw Gavin Ross involved in that battle, but we've also just seen him spin out and unfortunately make a big mistake, which has dropped him out of contention here. But the battle is still on here. There's no doubt about it. 74, Nick Setinich holding off the intentions of the JRT boys and looking for opportunities to maybe stay at the front end of this mid-pack battle for Class B. It's a great little fight here between all of them. There's no doubt about it. Ethan just moving ever so slightly closer to the back end of Setinich. And those two are going to fight it all the way down to the wire. Kasani's in there too, and great recovery there coming out of Gavin Ross. Top two, that's the gap they've got now over the two Masters boys. So it's Darby van der Merwe from Rory Atkinson, Wayne Masters from Bevan, and then Valdi Mankies still fending off Derek Smallberger. We've seen that on numerous occasions. Smallberger and Mankies going at it. Checkered flag is on standby though, and Darby van der Merwe has done everything right, everything he can do to try and take Class A honours. It depends now if he's got the fastest lap or did Rory Atkinson get it. And is it going to be so close for the final heat of the year for 2021 as Darby van der Merwe takes Class A honours and wins out over Rory Atkinson and Wayne Masters. Main squeeze keeps out the intentions there of Derek Smallberger, Mike Babaglia and Stelio Nosius coming through there just ahead of Dierwald Tehran. Coming to the line now is the 7-7 car, second of the Team Red Racing Machines, and second victory for them as well. In Class B, it's Leighton Fourie. Looks like Charisse van der Merwe has moved up ahead of Stuart Mack and stayed there, despite the little touch between the two of them earlier on and some argy-bargy between them in the race. But look at the gap that Leighton Fourie has pulled out. There's not even another car heading towards the final corner. In the background, it's eventually Charisse coming through there ahead of Stuart Mack, and then a great drive as well from Karshan Naidoo, losing out there in the closing stages for Class B. Class C coming to the line now as well. This will be Class C sorted out. So we've got Class C and B sorted out now. It's just the overall that'll be up for grabs in the final race of the season in a few minutes' time. Great driving here from Pierluigi Mussolini to take Class C honours and the win. First race of the day going to the FSS Logistics car. Darby van der Merwe giving confirmation of Class A ahead of Atkinson, Masters and Masters. Leighton Fourie wins out over Charisse van der Merwe and Stuart Mack, and a great drive from Karshan Naidoo. And top two in Class C, Pierluigi Mussolini and Ian Walker. Let's catch up now with Darby van der Merwe.
It's getting close to the end. Rory put off a massive fight. It's a huge honour to race with him. He kept me busy the whole time. And this morning with qualifying was just flying, so it was hard getting up to him. On the drop, I've just got to better myself. In the start, I've managed to pass him in the start and just had to manage from there. All for counts now. The next race, if I win the next race and I get a fastest lap, it's equal for the championship. So it's getting hard, but we're working for it. So I'm looking forward for the next race.
Class B winner comes out the same stable, Leighton Fourie.
Unfortunately, Stian didn't even make the start due to some mechanical problem. I would have liked a good fight from him, but I mean, we'll take what we got, and that's fastest lap in a race win by quite a margin. So now we move on to the second race and do it again.
One hand on the trophy literally there for Pierluigi Mussolini with the win in Class C.
Yeah, start was a little bit tricky. Just didn't get a good pull off, but I made up for it in the first lap. It was tight, and then after that I just started doing my time trials and pushed, got the result that we wanted.
Quick little stop at ATS to get some new gloves there for Derek Smallberger. Hopefully he got some in his size, looked like they have. Some great rivalries and some great friendships in this category. That's what it's all about. And PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge now with the final tweaks to these cars for 2021. The battle is almost complete and the war is about to be sorted out as well. A couple of lines being shown there by Leighton Fourie to say that's how quick you go through the dog bone. Wayne Masters with a couple of tweaks as well of his own for Performance Masters to get that polo of his working ever so slightly quicker. And hopefully he'll be able to get up ahead. But the rain has come, and that is going to be a massive decider here. As I said earlier on, it is Leighton Fourie who was dominant in the rain during the practice sessions and actually quicker than most of the Class A competitors in his Class B Team Red Racing car. So let's see what's going to happen now. Remember, the wet race has been declared, and also it is separate starts for Class A, B and C again for the final time in 2021. Bevan Masters wants to return the favour there on Wayne and spoil his day. I'm sure Valdi Mankies would like to be involved there. He's very good in the wet as well. So keep an eye on main squeeze as we get into race number 2. Lights out and we're going racing. It's a good start from Darby, but it looks like a much better start coming out of Rory Atkinson. He got a slightly better drive down towards turn number 1. And look at main squeeze. As I said, trying to come through the middle there and in between the two Masters boys. And heads up, incoming. What a great start coming out of Stelio Nosius as well. Class B about to get underway as well. This time out, it's going to be Leighton Fourie leading things down towards turn number 1 with the battle resuming there between Charisse van der Merwe and Stuart Mack. Mike McGregor with a big problem on the start. Getting a huge hit there. into the back end. Mike McGregor slowed there. Looks like there might have been a problem on the Grange workwear car, and I think somebody slamming into the back of him could possibly have been Stian Kriel. It was Stian Kriel just slamming into the back end of Mike McGregor right on the start line. And I'm wondering if they're going to be able to hang on to this and restart it, or is Class C going to be able to get underway? We'll wait and see. No, red flag had to come out. We got 2 cars stuck on the main straightaway. No doubt about it. One of them is the Grange workwear car there of McGregor. Not quite sure if he missed a gear or something went wrong. You can see him just slowing there ever so slightly. And as they start to spread out, Stian Kriel had nowhere to go. He saw 2 cars going left and right of McGregor. He decided to pick the inside line, the middle one, and unfortunately it was the wrong one completely. And he slammed straight into the back. This is Rory Atkinson's point of view again as we get underway for the restart. Heading down towards turn 1, he goes to second gear. It's a good start from him. The car hooks up so well in second gear, and he's got the whole shot. Oh, he gives Davy van der Merwe a little tap into turn 1 as well. Davy time to return the favour. He's going to try to go around the outside. Van der Merwe's got the inside line for the second part of the chicane. He has to maybe give a little bit away there. No, he doesn't. He just hangs in there. He drifts ever so slightly wide, so does Atkinson, and comes slamming back into the side of Bevan Masters and the Sabertech car of Derek Smallberger. I wonder if those wet weather gloves are working. We'll have to wait and see. We're on board here. This is going to be absolutely amazing stuff. Charisse van der Merwe, the hot 102.7 car going side by side with Leighton Fourie. But as I said, Leighton Fourie in the wet here at Red Star Raceway is the dominant factor. And there's no answer there from the Charisse van der Merwe machine heading down into turn number 1. But she was able to outgun Stuart Max, so she's up into second place. Maybe going to try and hang on there. Oh, and a little bit squirrely. They're getting completely out of shape there. Those Dunlops are not quite up to race temperature, and they're not going to get to temperature that easily as well with the wet conditions we're in right now. The wet race has been declared, and they are all at it flat out. This is Mussolini taking on Rainer van Heerden, who gets a slightly better start there from the second row, trying to squeeze between Ian Walker. And you can see just how tight it's going to be between the Class C competitors as well as they head down towards turn 1. Great start there coming out of this man. As he comes onto the braking point, Walker hangs on for now. And he tucks in behind Mussolini heading towards turn number 1 and into that chicane. He follows him through nicely. And you can see Rainer van Heerden also with some issues there. Problems for the leader. Where is Rory Atkinson going? Right off circuit, but so does Davy van der Merwe. Follows him in, basically in sympathy there. The 2 championship rivals in Class A are off the track, and that's opened up a massive margin. Look who's at the front end of this field. We did not expect to see the CPS warehouse car of Masters out front, but he's there, and he's up into a commanding lead over Valdi Mankis, who's now in 4th place. Dale now slots in just ahead of Davy van der Merwe, who, as we saw, went off at the end and the exit point of turn number 7 and 8. As they come through here, you can see just how tight it's going to be. Brilliant stuff from the Class A competitors. They're all trying to stay on track, but it is so wet out there. Very difficult conditions to be driving in. This is Wayne Masters' point of view as he moves up into 2nd place now, trying to close down on Bevan up front. So the Performance Masters car, we saw him tweaking little bits and pieces on the computer. I wonder if he's got that race setup and the wet race setup all dialed in. Rory Atkinson has dropped right back, and that is a big concern. Davy van der Merwe has to win this race, remember, if he wants to take Class A honours. And Pierluigi Mussolini has to take the win as well to take the overall championship. He's wrapped up Class C, and there is a change-up for 1st and 2nd. He is fighting hard here with Kurodia. Kurodia is not giving him any room to play. He's not going to make it easy here for Pierluigi. And Mussolini is going to have to find a way through there on Kurodia and keep his eyes and ears and rearview mirrors on the man behind him as they start to come through there. Brilliant bit of driving coming out of Ian Walker, and not too far behind is Rainer van Heerden. Van Heerden and Walker almost side by side. At this stage it's Walker, but I think Van Heerden is not too far out the picture. Let's keep an eye on him. There he is. The police machine coming through there in 4th place and starting to close things down. We're on board with him now as we come across the start-finish line to complete another lap of anger here at Red Star Raceway for the final round of PoziDrive Volkswagen Challenge. Absolutely amazing stuff. You can see him just attempting to... Oh, it's the windscreen wiper he wanted to switch off there. And as he did that, almost missed his braking marker. Great recovery from Rainer van Heerden. Hits the windscreen wiper button and it stops, but it almost didn't stop the police car going in. Now we put the windscreen wipers back on again. Wanted a bit of clear vision going in there. Further back, Anderson having another great outing here, and he's just got through there on Kurodia. Kurodia's made a mistake. Kurodia making a mistake there. That's dropped him right out of contention, potentially for Class C honours. This is the side-by-side action going in here from Sabertech's point of view. Derek Smallberger into turn 1. There's the tap between Davy van der Merwe and the BHIT car, and there's the return of the investment coming out of Davy as Derek Smallberger tried to come back and avoid the action. He had nowhere to go. And off track there, you can see just how difficult it's going to be. This is Atkinson's point of view as he was off track. He eventually comes back on for BHIT Logistics. And he slots in behind his championship rival, who was also on the grass, as we saw, down at turn 7. Absolutely amazing stuff that they both got back on track and survived that. But they've got a huge amount of work to do now to wrap up Class A. That championship is still up for grabs, and remember, Rory Atkinson is still in with a chance of the overall. It's a mathematical chance, but if something goes wrong with Leighton Free or with Pierluigi Mussolini, he can just get up there and take another overall championship. Oh, Charisse van der Merwe's now off. How many cars have gone off? I think that's every single car. I think we might need to get the pace car out there and let it go off as well. It's the only one that hasn't gone off the track just yet. Great driving that coming out of Nick Settinic now. He's slightly higher up than what he would normally be. This is on board now with Charisse van der Merwe heading down the short straight. Trying to close things down there. I think on the back end, I think that might be the no-brake car of Gavin Ross. But side by side, as you can see, Settinic coming up on the inside and looking for a way through, trying to squeeze things. Yes, he's got on the inside. Can he keep it all together? Charisse may have to give him a bit of room, but remember, going into the left-hander, he might be able to just squeeze her out and get through. Right, looks like Rory Atkinson has turned the wick up. He's up to third place, and he's trying to recover here rapidly. He's done an amazing job to do that. And just behind him, you can see Valdi Maikie's doing a similar job now as well. The Dunlops have now got about a heat into them, and they're certainly starting to feel the effects of a drying circuit. It's not dry yet, but it's definitely drying. And as they get into the chicane, it's now Rory Atkinson closing down on the back end of Masters. Speaking of the back end, have a look at this. This is Leighton Free closing in on the back end of Class A. Dievel to run from Cape Town, ahead of Dale and Stelios Nosios. And for a kid who's never driven in the wet before, have a look at the pace that Leighton Free is finding here. I did mention it in the practice sessions. During a very heavy thunderstorm, he was actually quicker than any of the Class A competitors, and he's starting to close in on them now. Change up for second. Rory Atkinson slots up into second place now, ahead of Wayne Masters. He's got his sights firmly set up the road on Bevan Masters. He has to take the victory, remember, if he wants Class A honours. And with Davy van der Merwe so far back, it looks like that's exactly what his intentions are here. Coming down into the dog bone again, the BHIT logistics car closing down on that CPS warehouse car of Bevan Masters. Masters will be very wary of those lights in his rearview mirror. And there's 3 sets of them. They're not too far away. Have a look at how he closed in here so rapidly. Rory Atkinson is now right on the tail, looking for a way through here on Bevan Masters. Bevan going defensive at almost every single attempt. He runs slightly wide. That's going to give Atkinson a chance. He ran wide coming onto the short straight. Atkinson now going to try and get the drive. Comes up alongside him. He's got the inside line. He's having a look over there as well. He knows he's got that first place wrapped up now. And so has Leighton Free. Free has now got through on a couple of those Class A competitors. Oh, and he gets a little tag from Dale. Dale gets out of shape. Leighton tries to stay out of harm's way. And Dale comes alongside and says, welcome to Class A. Dale Taron's trying to show him that he knows his way around Red Star, although it's probably only his first or second time he's ever been here. And this is on board now with Reiner van Heerden giving Pierluigi Mussolini a bit of a run. They are side by side. And it looks like Reiner van Heerden wants the final victory of the season. He's not worried about the championship, although Luigi will be very worried. Second place might not be enough. We've got Leighton Free leading his class. We've got Rory Atkinson at the front end of Class A as well. So Class A and B, the 2 rivals for the overall championship, are leading. Whereas the man who could potentially take the championship with that one hand on, as I said at the beginning of race number 2, Pierluigi Mussolini, is now in second behind Reiner van Heerden. As I said, Reiner van Heerden is not worried about the championship. He just wants the final blood of 2021, and he's doing a good job of getting there. And in fact, if Luigi could be in a bit of trouble here. Pierluigi Mussolini could be in some trouble with Ian Walker now starting to put the pressure onto him as well. The pressure is certainly starting to be felt there by the FSS logistics car of Mussolini. Makes a small mistake running wide. Checkered flag is on standby. Atkinson has done it all right. He's got to the front despite that off-track excursion on lap number 1 in turn 1, and he takes the victory. But how close was it there for 4th place? Brilliant action there. And here comes the win for Leighton Free, Class B, in amongst the Class A competitors, and fastest man out there in the wet as well. Oh, and Pierluigi Mussolini's made a mistake. That is going to be huge. How far back has he dropped? Could that potentially spoil his overall championship contentions here? So coming across the line is Reiner van Heerden for the win in Class C. Pierluigi Mussolini needs second place, and it looks like he's going to just survive to get that. Confirmation of the results there. Class A, Atkinson, Masters and Masters ahead of Valdi Maikie's. Leighton Free beats out Ethan Kutsia, Stuart Mack and Karshan Naidu for the win in Class B. And it's Reiner van Heerden, Pierluigi Mussolini in Class C. Bevan Masters, initial leader, down in 3rd place. Let's catch up with him.
Yeah, it was a very exciting race. I was gifted the lead with everybody sliding off in front of me. Had a fantastic gap between Wayne and the chasing pack behind me. And my plan was just to keep that gap the same through the race and don't do anything silly and make a mistake. But once Rory had climbed on and got his act together, he came hunting me down and they all followed with him. So I just managed to hold off. Disappointed I couldn't hold it all the way to the end, but I managed it third and it was very exciting, very fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
With his win, Rory Atkinson wraps up another Class A title for 2021.
I'm very happy, yep. Thank you to Davy and his team. They did an amazing job this year. He's an incredible young man. Thank you to all the sponsors, PoziDrive, Dunlop, and the many others who just keep the series going, and just all the gentlemen we get to race with. It's such a gas, and I'm very honoured to have won again. Thank you.
Class B title and the second race win of the day to Leighton Fourie.
Season's done. Yeah, it was a great season from all of us. We had a problem with the car in the past 2 rounds, but the guys got it fixed. But yeah, I can't thank the team enough for the car they've given me, and to end off the season how we did, it's amazing.
Let's catch up with some bacon product now. Reina van Heerden taking the victory in Class C.
Extremely happy. I just actually thought back to the start of the year, the first race I won and the last race, so it's a beginning and the end. But the rain, I like the rain, so when I saw the clouds coming, I thought, okay, here's going to be a race. So yeah, that's awesome.
How close was this championship for 2021? 9 wins for Pierluigi Mussolini, 133 points, 8 wins and 133 points for Rory Atkinson. That's what split them, but only a point in it between Leighton Fourie as well, down in third. Let's catch up now with your newly crowned champion, Pierluigi Mussolini.
Yeah, very happy with how today went and how the season went. It was unbelievable. Our race with true gentlemen. Goes for actually everyone in this VW challenge. Really good year.
Thank you, PoziDrive!
All this Volkswagen Challenge action is proudly brought to you by PoziDrive and Dunlop Tires.